The morning began like any other in our quiet Nashville home. The soft hum of the coffee maker filled the kitchen, blending with the comforting aroma of freshly toasted bread. James had already left for work, and Sarah was at the counter, hurriedly packing her backpack for school. But my thoughts weren't on her. They were on Michael, our 18-year-old son. For weeks he had seemed far away, lost in thoughts he wouldn't share. He should have been excited about graduation, about college applications and the life waiting ahead. Instead, he moved through the days like a shadow of himself, withdrawn and heavy with something unspoken. That morning, he came downstairs wearing the same hoodie he'd had on for days. His hair was messy, his eyes tired, and he didn't meet my gaze. He grabbed a granola bar without a word. "Morning," he muttered. "Morning, honey," I said softly, watching him. "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine," he replied quickly, already heading for the door. I wanted to stop him, to make him sit and talk, to tell him I was worried. But I didn't. Instead, I stood by the sink, staring out the window as he walked down the driveway toward his car. My heart ached with the quiet realization that my little boy, the one who once held my hand at soccer games, was almost a man now. And somehow I didn't know how to reach him anymore. That night after dinner, I decided I couldn't stay silent. I walked upstairs and knocked gently on his door. "Michael, can we talk?" There was a pause, then a quiet, reluctant, "Yeah, come in." His room was dim, lit only by the glow of his computer screen. He sat slouched in his chair, headphones hanging loosely around his neck. The walls that once displayed his favorite bands and athletes now stood bare, stripped of color and personality. I sat on the edge of his bed, taking a breath before speaking. "Michael, I'm worried about you," I said gently. "You've been so quiet lately. You don't hang out with your friends anymore, and I barely see you smile. What's going on?" He didn't answer right away. Then he sighed, turned toward me, and I saw something raw in his face. Defeat. "I don't know, Mom," he said, his voice low. "I just feel like I'm failing. Everyone keeps asking about college, about my plans, and I don't have an answer. My friends all seem to know what they want. I'm just stuck. What if I mess everything up?" Tears burned behind my eyes. I had been waiting for this, for him to open up. "Oh, Michael," I whispered. "You're not failing. You're figuring things out. That's part of life." He shook his head. "No, it's not. Dad was working 2 jobs when he was my age, and you always talk about how focused you were. But me, I don't even know what I want to study. I feel like a disappointment." That word hit me like a knife. Disappointment. How could my son think that? After he went to bed, I sat alone in the kitchen long after James had gone upstairs. His words replayed in my head. Maybe what Michael needed wasn't another lecture about responsibility or deadlines. Maybe he just needed me. Not as a mother giving advice, but as someone showing him that it's okay to pause, to breathe, to not have it all figured out. The next morning I told James my idea. He raised an eyebrow but nodded. "If you think it'll help, then let's do it," he said. So that weekend, I packed the car with snacks, a blanket, and no particular plan. I knocked on Michael's door with a smile. "Get dressed," I told him. "We're going on an adventure." He gave me a skeptical look. "An adventure? What are you talking about?" "Just trust me," I said. An hour later, we were driving down winding country roads, soft music playing from the radio. He kept asking where we were going, but I only grinned and told him to wait. Eventually, we reached a hiking trail outside the city, one that overlooked the rolling hills of Tennessee. "Seriously, Mom?" he asked, rolling his eyes. "Seriously," I said with a laugh. "Come on." He complained at first, dragging his feet, but as the trail wound upward and the air grew cleaner, I could see the weight slowly lifting from his shoulders. When we reached the top, the view took our breath away. Endless hills and valleys bathed in golden light. "Wow," he whispered, almost to himself. We sat together on a large rock, sharing snacks and quiet moments, just watching the world spread out below. After a while, I turned to him and said softly, "Michael, this is what I wanted to show you. Life is like this view. When you're down there, you can't always see where the path leads. But once you climb high enough, things start to make sense. You're 18, sweetheart. You're not supposed to have all the answers yet." He looked at me for a long moment, then smiled faintly. The first real smile I'd seen in weeks. And in that quiet space, I realized something too. Sometimes the best way to help our children find direction is to simply walk beside them until they can see the view for themselves.